Today we're going to be talking about networking, the how, what it is, the how and the and why we should really network as people, and what the impact of networking is on your growth, both as someone that will be in the corporate world and also in the entrepreneurship world. So just to start off, Ife, I'll say, can you tell us a bit about yourself, right? I know a lot of people say they know who you are, but maybe tell us something that you think people don't know about you, something that is not in the public domain, or something fun about you, basically.
Something fun. Okay, everyone here, I'm sure you probably know who I am. So I'm Ife Durosinmi-Etti. I'm the founder of Herconomy, like you all know. Something fun about me. Should I say this online? But I can eat pounded yam without soup and I'll be fine. So that's my own craze. So I can eat pounded yam without soup. And everybody's like, how can you eat pounded yam without soup? Yeah, so that's something fun about me, or something people don't know about me. Another thing is that I really, really like water, so I love to swim. I love to be on the beach. You know, that's my natural element. Sometimes I'll literally leave my house and go to the beach and just sit down and work from the beach. So I think the beach is very calming, very relaxing. Yes, so that's my vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, pounded jam. Interesting. I thought you loved yam, but now that you're telling me that you like pounded jam without soup, now that's it.
Any type of yam, any type, just give it to me. I'm ready.
So
Yeah.
I know everyone is here because everyone wants to hear about networking. So to start, how would you define networking in your own words? So not the typical, like, the formal, educational, theoretical definition of networking, but what is networking to you? What does networking mean to you as a person?
Okay, so to me, networking is basically just building relationships with people for either professional gain or personal gain. So it's pretty much just building relationships. So you meet person A today, you meet person B today. How do you build on that relationship? How do you follow up on the conversation and all of that? That's pretty much what networking means to me.
Okay, so how would you say networking has had a huge impact on your career till date? So both when you were working in the corporate world and then now when you're working with AGS Tribe and then now working on Herconomy.
Networking for me has been phenomenal, and I would say that I've pretty much built my network since I was a child. So I was very, very intentional since I was in prep. Sorry, can you just give me 1 minute, please? 1 minute.
Yeah, joys of motherhood. but those of us that have children.
My God. Like so sorry. So I was saying I've been very intentional about, can you guys hear me?
Yes, you can.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I've been very intentional about building my network since I was a child. So for my primary school, like I still have friends till today. My secondary school, my university friends, my master's friends, even there was an online session that I did, an online course that I did with Oxford University, and I met people in that session, and they've been very instrumental to my growth today. And I'll just give like simple examples. So the first job I got when I got into the UK, because I needed to work alongside my MBA, and I had been looking for a job, and it was a bit difficult because I was intentional. There was a particular kind of job I wanted to do. I didn't want anything that was too stressful or and all of that, because I was doing my MBA. So I spoke to a friend of mine who was in secondary school with me, and she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll speak to them in my office to see if they're recruiting." And the very next day they called me, and I was hired. Like I didn't even have to talk too much. So that's what your network can do for you. If it's always better when it's a referral, when somebody can put their leg forward for you and say, "Oh, I trust this babe. I think she'll be able to deliver on what she's going to do." So that was like the first step, first job, and it was a fantastic job that I got. I did it, and I brought in 3 more people into that role. So networking, I would say, is very, very key. And it's also important for you to not just think about what you can get, also think about how you can give. So like I said, one person brought me in, and then I brought 3 more people from my class into the school. So it was an easier process. Like schooling was better. I was able to make more money. My friends were able to make more money. So that's what networking does. It does for you. Like you build those relationships and just nurture those relationships until till today, those people are still in my life. So yeah, it's very, very key for you to have that. So when I now relate it to some of the things that I've done, like even with Herconomy and, you know, building AGS Tribe, because I've always been passionate about women empowerment, it's easier for me to build community, right? Because I've built my network. So it's a network effect. You have one friend that tells one friend about what you're doing, that tells another friend about what you're doing. So pretty much every business I have done, over time, from when I started my furniture business, my network, they literally came for me. They really literally supported me, you know, through the process. I was able to build those relationships. I met somebody. So when we first started with Paliamo Bambini, let me give that simple example. I had gone for a baby and me fair or something like that, or a baby fair in the UK. And eventually I decided that I wanted to start baby furniture in Nigeria. I reached out to one of the partners who I had met at a networking event, which was the baby fair, and they eventually gave us the contract. They reduced the prices significantly for us so that we could resell it at good prices in Nigeria. That's what networking is, you know, adding value, you know, building something from nothing, you know. So you never know how that connection can build into something. There's, in fact, the biggest story of networking that I always like to personally refer to is the story of Microsoft. I'm not sure if all of you know how Microsoft started. So he had the idea and he was, you know, doing the whole computer chip thing and all of that, but he did not know what to do with it. There was no way anybody, or he would have blown without the help of his mom. So his mom was on another board, and or on the board of the company, and I think some other people on the board were part of another company, or one of the people on the board was part of another company that was giving out contracts, or maybe I think had a competition, sorry. And you know, all of them applied, including Microsoft's son, or Bill Gates and all of that. He applied and then he eventually got the contract, and because of that, Microsoft is what it is today. If that person did not give him that leg in, if his mom didn't speak into the ear of the person who was giving out that, I don't know if it was a contract or a competition or whatever, to say, oh, my son is actually doing this thing and I think it's actually be fantastic. Obviously, he had to have a credible product. So obviously he would have gone through the process and everything, but he had a leg in the door. Like today, I received a message from somewhere to say, if this application is out now, and I have I'm one of the judges, and they've given me the opportunity to nominate somebody, and I want to nominate you. When you finish the application, let me know. That's a foot in the door. If not, I will have just been one of the, 500,000 people applying for the same pot of soup, right? So sometimes those little opportunities, those networking opportunities, those people you've met, those people you've built relationships with, those people you've said something to, randomly, you wouldn't know how interesting the person may find you and how the person might mention your name in a room eventually. So that's how, it just works. It gives that networking effect. It gives that ripple effect of opportunities, as you continue to grow in your career. So please go out there, network, meet people. Don't be tired of meeting people. Meet people, and not all relationships might turn out into something that you would get from it, like in the immediate. So just be patient, just be a people's person. Just try as much as possible to be a people's person, and you never ever know how beneficial that would be in the future. So I've been a huge benefactor of my network, even like raising our funding. It was pretty much my network on social media, which is a fantastic tool for networking. So even people that I didn't know, I have a friend who was my roommate in secondary school who invested almost £20,000 in Herconomy. I've not seen her since secondary school. She was just like, Ife, I believe in what you're doing. And, but she's been following up on what I've been doing on social media. But if not for social media, if I wasn't leveraging social media to showcase what I was doing, if I had never maybe followed her, or if she didn't follow me, that connection would have never, that opportunity would have never come. So yes, networking has been very, very instrumental in my growth, in the growth of Herconomy and all of that. Yeah.
In layman's terms, right, I want you to give maybe 4 or 5 tips to women on how to network properly. So one of the things that I found that is women actually understand the importance of networking, but we don't do it as much as men actually do it. So if you can give 5 tips on how women can actually network correctly.
Mm.
Um,
Okay, so first thing is to go out. You're not going to, it will be hard for you to network from your house, obviously, apart from social media. So the first thing is to go out and go and have one-on-one connection. I can tell you that one time I went to the beach, and it was literally supposed to just be a fun event, just go and hang out with, friends and all of that. And I met other people on the beach. And eventually, some people on that beach became my investors. And that day I was asking questions. I was talking about how fundraising is so hard. All of them were like from the startup ecosystem and all of that. And eventually I got people to invest from that event. So it's very, very, so that's it. Firstly, go out, build those one-on-one connections. And a lot of women say, oh, I'm an introvert. How do I do it? Is all about your networking. And extrovert does not mean the person is going to be the person that's going to build the most connections in the room. The person can go and talk to everybody in the room, but nobody might even remember them. But it's the one that builds that one-on-one connection. So even as an introvert, leverage on your listening skill set. Introverts like to listen. Like that's one of their own peculiar strengths, right? Leverage on that. Be a good listener. Connect to people. You don't have to talk to everybody in the room if it gives you anxiety. Connect with 5 people and keep it moving. So that's one thing. So, and first thing is go out. Secondly is, just speak to people when you go out and damn that inner critic. So we all do this to ourselves, especially as women. You're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be in this room. Oh my God, there's so many people here. Even me, I went out one day very recently, and I think we were only like 3 girls in the room. And every other person, obviously, was able to say, I froze. I was like, I just became overwhelmed all of a sudden, and I sat down. And one guy came to me and he was like, Ife, I wouldn't have imagined that this would have been you. He couldn't believe I was literally like a hermit, in the corner. And I just said, okay, there are correct people in this room, people that I actually want to network with. So let me just put my A game on. No matter how unqualified I feel to be in this room, I'm still going to go out and speak. So I made very, very meaningful connections that day. Thank God for that reminder. So sometimes you might need somebody to cheer you on and say, just go and speak. Now, these people are not gods. Go and talk to these people, So sometimes you have to damn, those inner critics in you, so that, you just do it. You have to just do it afraid. Just make those connections. Number 3, always ask for introductions. Like, introductions are everything. So don't feel, if you know somebody that knows the person, it's always easier for you to say, oh, hi Ashtim, can you introduce me to so and so person? If the connection is coming from somebody that they respect, they're more than likely to respond to you. So please always ask for a referral. So that means that you have to have done research to even know, okay, I want to meet Mrs. Ubuku Awoshika, who is close to her. I've seen Karika at some of her events. I've seen Morenike Muleyi at some of her events. If Morenike speaks to her for me, she's more than likely to listen, as opposed to me sliding into her DM. She'll just be like, who is this one? She feels like, oh, she's done women empowerment. Even if she's done women empowerment, like, she's speaking to so many people. So she as well might be overwhelmed. But out of respect for the people that are in her own ecosystem and people that have also poured into her, she will listen to you. Yeah. Another thing is, prepare like icebreaker questions. When you're going for sessions, you need to think about how you're going to break the ice with different people. So, please, can you hold on? My son is literally like, I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but I need to. I swear.
Thanks everyone for joining in. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment box. About networking today and how networking can impact growth. Your questions come. If you have any questions at all that you want to ask today, while we wait for her. So, yeah, if I was talking about what your superpower is, I'm using your superpower to network, especially if you're an introvert. So I was going to use myself as an example, because I am one of those people that can actually be very quiet in a room if I wanted to. So when I did my MBA, one of the ways that I actually succeeded in networking with a lot of people was actually helping people. So a lot of people that were in my MBA, about 90% of them were not finance people, and I was a finance person. So what used to happen, people used to come and ask a lot of questions about finance. So what I used to do was slide into their DMs and offer to actually help with their assignment, offer to help with their work, and that way I built a tremendous network. It was so funny because people were like, oh my God, you talk to so many people, and anytime I need help, a lot of people in my MBA would actually offer help. But the truth is, people were like, but she was very quiet. But the truth is, I learned to use what was my strength to actually use it to network, because some of us obviously would get in a room and would not speak. So Ife is back. So Ife, tip number 4 on how to network.
I think I had given 4 already. So the first one was obviously identify your goals for the event and go out. So when you go out, identify your goals for the event. Another thing is follow up. You need to follow up with people. So quickly send them a message, maybe on LinkedIn or WhatsApp. I prefer WhatsApp. So immediately I just like, I'm not even doing business card. Just give me your WhatsApp, because if you give me that business card, when I get home, I'll forget. I'll just drop it somewhere. But if I have your number on WhatsApp, as I'm leaving, I'm already sending you a message. Oh, hi, was lovely to meet you. Blah 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 blah. And the person forever even sees that message in their WhatsApp. So when you message them again another time, it doesn't seem too weird. Like, oh, who is this person? Where do I know this person from? If possible, also take a picture with the person, if it's not too awkward and all of that. So that's another thing that you can do. And what Dalakwa said is actually very true. How Dalakwa and I met was actually her reaching out to me to say, oh, I need to get my, I think, CV done, or was it profile or something, or maybe even both. And then we just started talking from there. So offering all of those things, like where you can just reach out to somebody, where you know that, okay, you want to connect to this person, and the person has a product or service offering, reach out to them and see how you can connect. And today she's one of my sisters. Like, we've been grinding for how many years now? Like, when I have issues, I call Dolakwa. I'm like, Dolakwa, I better go. This finance is about to break my head, So yeah, so reach out to people, slide into their DMs. But I prefer personal connections. But you just never know. I have friends who I've never seen physically, but we're always chatting online and stuff like that. So yeah, build those connections, and don't be too scared to get a no. You might not connect with everybody, but you connect with fantastic people.
Talking about sliding into DM, let's talk about some etiquettes of networking when people slide DMs. The one thing I hate the most, even on LinkedIn, is when you just say hi. Hi what? As in,
I was gonna say that. Like, don't just say hi. Like, I'm already having anxiety when I see hi. Like, what are you about to do? Are you trying to beg me for money or something? Like, it's very, once I see hi, I just know that this person is not a serious person, because I know that a lot of people over the years have preached on DM etiquette. Like, so if you don't really understand how to position yourself as a person of strength and all of that, then it's just scary for me, because I'm also getting like tons, like 100 messages a day. So it's better for you to just say what you want up front and give the person the opportunity to either respond or not.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is that when you say hi, you're just wasting the person's time. The person will just look at it and go like, okay, obviously this person is not serious. So even if you're sliding into your DM, what you said is put your best foot forward.
Forward.
Best foot forward, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ife, what else would you like to tell people about networking, basically, especially women? Because now a lot of people went to primary school, went to secondary school, went to uni, and they don't belong to any of the alumni groups, right? We found it out with men, right? They go golfing or they go to the club. These are things that a lot of women don't tend to do, especially black women. So,
Mm-hmm.
like some of these things, like some of the day-to-day things that we do, how can that be built into our opportunities to kind of network, basically?
Okay. So you've actually said it. So the first thing, and I've also said it in some of the things that I've said, building a strong network, one of the things that you need to do is obviously ask for referrals. So obviously tell your friend or tell somebody that you know to refer you. Secondly is to join communities. It's so important. Like, my friend currently has a fishing community. They love going fishing. I had never heard of it in my life, but that is fishing, but swag fishing, right? Like, they have boats, for you to have a boat in Nigeria, you're balling, right? So those people, they're like 1% of the 1%. But there's also polo club. They're private clubs. They're also the ones that you have access to, that you can easily join. There's some community that you have to pay to be a part of, or pay to even go to. There's some, like Ikoyi Club, for example, boat club. Boat club, you pay a huge amount, but when you've already paid that huge amount, if you want to go there every day, the suya is extremely cheap. All the activities are extremely cheap. You know, things that you have to do, activities are free, sorry, but the things that you do, you know, have a meeting and all that, the food you buy, the drinks you buy, extremely cheap. But the kind of people that you meet there are people that you actually want to network with, you know. But not everybody's going to be able to go to boat club. There are little bits and bobs. Like Herconomy is a fantastic community. We have events all the time. I know people who have met themselves in this community and have done fantastic things together, you know, and without me even knowing. And obviously, those are personal connections that you build by yourself. Now I see them going to each other's houses. I'll see, you know, post on Instagram, oh, so and so person is hanging out, so and so person. In fact, I know some people that met in Herconomy that have started businesses after joining the community. They were in 9-to-5 jobs. They're still in 9-to-5 jobs. Now, one of them is a stylist, and she reached out to some other people that she met within the community and was like, hey guys, I want to style you for the Herconomy gala. So those are some of the opportunities that come up. Things you might just, you just don't know how you're going to leverage that relationship. Please just go out and meet people. Go out and listen. It literally opens your mind to the world. I remember when I started the AGS Tribe community was free, and I went for a conference, and I met Tosi in Money Africa there, and she was the one who said, Ife, make people pay for the value that you're giving them. And that was how we actually changed it to a paid community. I was so scared. I was like, who's going to pay? What am I going to offer? That was then when we were still a paid community, when we were still offering it as paid. And that held us down for about a year. That was how I was able to get money to build the first version of our app. You know, that was how I was able to learn and listen and meet more people that were intentional about building their network. So it's very, very important for you to join communities, please. Thirdly, when you want to build a strong network, leverage social media. Like, social media is magic. I always say it to myself and people around me. I say, the day I meet Mark Zuckerberg, I'll give him a kiss on the lips because he deserves it. Like, I've met so many amazing people. America, London, Switzerland, Nigeria. Like, I have people in diverse countries that are my friends that, you know, that are rooting for me, that reach out to me when I'm in those places. I know somebody who's coming back to Nigeria, you know, this weekend, and I'm like, don't worry, come. I'll show. She's not been to Nigeria since 2006 or something weird. I was like, don't worry, come. I'll show you around. You know, she's coming for our gala, you know, and we were in actually, no, it wasn't 2006. She was in my university, but she left after first term or first semester, and she went to London. Since then, she's only come to Nigeria for like 4 days for a wedding. So this is the first time that she's actually coming for maybe like 2 weeks, and this is like an extended period of time. And she's coming for the gala, and we connected in South Africa. I just told her randomly that, oh, I was coming to South Africa. We went there, we started talking again as if we didn't have any gap in the relationship, as if we had been seeing each other every day. That's what relationships do. When you meet people and you connect with them truly one-on-one, even if you don't see them for 5 years, when you see them again, that energy is still there, right? So please leverage social media, because that would actually help you, you know, build the relationships, and it's not too weird because you already kind of still vibe and understand how the person is and stuff like that. Also, another thing is when you are in full term, now that, okay, you're now older, always like be intentional about where you go to, the schools you go to as well. So now that I'm older, when I was younger, thank God my parents were intentional about the schools that I went to. But now that I'm older, there are schools that I will not even if they give me scholarship, I can never go, because nothing is going to come out of it. Adult education is all about your network. If it's not an Ivy League school, I'm not going. There's no need for me to pretend to myself and say, it's a good school. It's number 30 on the league table. I need to go to the best of the best of the best. So there's some schools that I'm not interested. If they are bottom on the league table, even if people they are going to still be successful. No, I'm not discriminating against anybody. But if I'm going to be the one to choose, I will choose an Ivy League school, because I know that adult education is more about the network that you build. So it's better for me to go somewhere where I know that everybody there, at least 100% of them, you know, the relationship that we're going to build and the value that we're going to add to each other will be fantastic, right? So be intentional about the schools you go to, the places you go to, the boards you join, you know, things like that are very intentional. I recently joined VFD's board, and it's been phenomenal. Like, I'm so happy that that's one of the first boards that, you know, it has been so instrumental, like in my growth, in even the way they support what we're doing with Herconomy and stuff like that. You know, just meeting the people, just having genuine relationships, just banter, you know, with the other board members. We're laughing on Instagram. Oh, you've gone to Miami today. Oh, you've done this. Oh, you've done that. Right? Just building those relationships outside of being so serious. Like, I'm not your typical serious person. So I like to meet you and understand you one-on-one and understand your likes. What do you enjoy? Do you like art? Do you like sports? Do you understand? Building those relationships outside of what you normally do on a day-to-day, which is your work, because other people have other interests. So you can bond with them and connect with them on some of the other things, even with the serious things that you're doing, like going for the board meetings, being serious, being responsible, you know. So yeah, it's very, very important for you to be intentional about that. And the last one is, I've said it before, go out. Like, that's the hack. Go out, leave your house. Like, some days people tell me, if I come out, I'll be like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't want to go. Oh, I've put on weight. I beg, let me sit there at home. But I'll just gather my ginger and just go. And guess what? When I go there, I meet somebody that will just blow my mind. So going out, not only does it help you with building your network, I think it also helps with your mood. You know, so sometimes you might be feeling a little down. Please just go out. Don't look too down on yourself, you know, because there might be somebody there that you might even, you know, bless. So yeah, those are some of the hacks that I use when I'm trying to build. Also, look the part. Dress well. Like, you want to enter somewhere, like, who is that babe? Like, doesn't matter your size. Trust me, there are fantastic clothes for everybody of every size. Right? Look the part. Always be somebody that understands what is going on. Like, with this SVB thing that's happened, understand it, read about it, be able to contribute to conversations. You know, people be like, this girl, like, she has sense. You know, be able to contribute to some of the conversations of what is happening globally, see how it can affect you. You know, when you make those contributions, people are like, this person has sense. So my level of respect has, you know, gone high for this person. So yes, please, just always look the part. Don't be caught on fresh. Like they always say, because trust me, you just have to look the part. Yeah, so please always look the part, no matter what.
You want to be addressed. That's what my mom
Exactly.
is saying, as in show up, come correct. I think somebody asked in the chat that after making that initial connection, when you're networking, what are the things that you should do in order to keep the conversation going, or in order to strengthen that connection?
Ask the person to hang out. So guess what? I met somebody at a conference, a mom's conference. I think in October. I think it was Blessing's mom's conference. Her name is Natasha. So I just liked her vibe. She was just nice, and she liked my vibe. What did she do? She reached out to me that, oh, can we grab a cup of coffee or breakfast? I'm a breakfast person. I was like, yes, girl. You know. So I went. So after that, first thing is connect on social media. You're seeing the person's post, you're liking it, blah, blah, blah. You either slide into the person's DM or the person slide into your DM. She just sent me a message and she's like, babes, let's hang out. So I was like, yes, let's hang out. So we met up at cafeteria and we had a fantastic conversation. We had so many things in common, you know. We spoke and spoke, and that was it. You know, since then we've kept in touch. I'll still continue liking her pictures, you know, sometimes banter in the DM, sometimes banter on WhatsApp. You know, I support what she's doing, she supports what I'm doing. She's like, oh hey, I'm going to download the Herconomy app. Oh, I've been seeing it. Oh, I've sent it to my friends, you know, just to show that, you know, we're both interested in each other and everything. And guess what? She had another hangout for like 10 people in her house, and she invited me. I was so tired that day, but I showed up and I had a blast. You know, I had a blast. I went there and I met even more people that are within my ecosystem that I had probably never had the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with. So that's just how your network continues to grow. And guess what? Today, as I was writing my list for the gala, I was like, oh yes, I need to reach out to Natasha. Right? This baby is not a Nigerian. But do you understand? But that's me keeping in touch, and she will know that, okay, Ife is actually intentional. Right now, I know that there's nothing she can do for me in the immediate. Even me, there's nothing I can really do for her in the immediate. But we're just building that relationship, right? So yeah, reach out, speak to people, dress the part, show opportunities to them. Like Uche Pedro, she's always sending me opportunities. Oh, if this thing is good for you, I think you like it. I think it's fantastic. Blah, blah. And we started building a relationship like that over the years and all of that. So there's so many people like that that you respect, and you want to really, really connect with on a one-on-one. Sometimes you say, oh, let's grab a cup of coffee. So yeah, just reach out to people and just there's no shame. And guess what? When you know in your heart that you're a person of value, right? When you send somebody a DM with your full chest and say, oh, let's grab a cup of coffee, you're not begging us to come and pay for your coffee. They'll say, girl, let's go. So also build a good brand so that people will not just think, this one wants to come and beg me for money. I beg, I'm not going. I'm not going. You don't want people to start avoiding you. So yes, build your personal brand. That's another thing. When you're trying to build your network, it's important for you to build your personal brand, because there's some people that will reach out to you just because of the way they look online. They might be fantastic people, but you might just not connect with them just because you don't really see anything in common. Right? But if you build a strong brand, if you're a person of value, if you're somebody that is always like willing to give, willing to be there for other people and all of that, it's easier for people to be more open and welcome to you. Right? So yeah, those are some of mine.
One more question. So she said, can I go for an event on my own without any companion, even if I don't know anyone at the event? Of course, I got an invite, but it's online. How do I start conversations with people there?
Oh, an online event?
An online event. So how can she start conversations at an online
If
event?
you enter online events, people are always there throwing their LinkedIn links. Oh, connect with me on LinkedIn. Oh, I like that comment. Wow, you go, girl. I was thinking the same. Different ways. And then from there, you connect on LinkedIn. Like, wow, that comment you dropped, man. I really felt it. Like, I felt it in my bones. People that go for online events, they're the best, because they prefer the online connection. It can be awkward when you're alone. Like yesterday, I went for an event yesterday, and I got there first. Like, it was supposed to be I don't want to say the event that I went to, but it was supposed to be me and a group of people that got there, that went together, but I got there before everybody. Oh my God, awkward. I mean, it was so awkward. I was just standing. I was like, when you enter the event with your full chest, thinking, I'm going to know people in this place today, because of so history, blah blah blah. And I entered. I saw the people that I would know. They came, hugged me. Ife, how far? But nobody said, Ife, come and sit down. No, and there was no space to sit down. It was so awkward. I was just like, so sometimes I can see how it can be awkward. And that wasn't a networking event, it was an event. So you don't have to overthink networking events, but guess what? You can meet people in those kind of events. But eventually, you meet one person, just be like, oh, so how do you know so person that is hosting this event? And that's how conversation will start. Oh, we went to the same primary school. Oh, we're in university together. Oh, this, oh, that. And before you know it, you now start talking about, so what do you do? Oh, I do this, so I do that. So, yeah, so but the physical ones are also good, and trust me, it's easier, I think, to connect when you're alone. When you go to an event with somebody that you're always going to be unconsciously tagging along with the person. So even when you even want to meet guys, it's harder. Guys are so shy. Let me just tell you the truth. It's harder for them to come and meet you when you are with people than when you're alone. When you're alone, they will come and meet you with their full chest. They will talk to you. But when you're with people, it's 100%, it's 100 times harder. So don't be scared of going alone. I go to the cinema alone. I take myself to lunch. I don't even think about it. I think it's just, I'm hungry, I want to eat. Okay, let me go to pit stop. Oh, let me go here. Oh, let me go there. And I'm not necessarily thinking, people will be wondering that why am I alone now? Why am I sitting down alone? No, I'm enjoying my food. If you want to come and talk to me, come and talk to me. If I feel like talking to you, if I see somebody that, makes sense, I can go and first, I'll go and say, you look so familiar. It's so funny. You look familiar. I'm like, where? What school did you go to? I didn't go to that school. From there, okay, what do you do, Shanti? Uncle, anyone? Do you understand? So yeah, just take yourself out. Trust me, sometimes more people might be more comfortable, talking to you when you are alone, right?
So, in the absence of any more questions, can you leave us with some final words?
I want to even first talk about some of the myths with networking. Like some some things that are in people's minds about networking, right? Number one, some people feel like networking is only about building relationships. The truth is that some connections you make might not be for professional gain. You just make it. Do you understand? You just make it because you like the person's face or you like the person's vibe. It does not have to be so professional every time, suit and tie. It might just be you just want to drink with the person and the person has a good vibe. It might just be like you guys have similar things. It does not have to be that serious. So everything does not necessarily have to be for professional gain. That's the first one. Number two is some people are scared that their employers may feel like, oh, that they are networking. So they try to hide it from their employers. But the truth is that a lot of employers actually want you to go out to go and network and learn from other people. Like today, Uche reached out to me and she's like, oh, Ife, your conference, I've been looking for the information about your conference. What is going on? And I was like, we've actually not announced it yet and everything. So I sent her the flyers and she was like, oh, I would like 2 people from my team to come, and that's an opportunity for networking because everybody there is going to probably be like somebody that you want to connect with because we have a limited number of people that can attend the event, right? So she's intentionally seeking out opportunities, and that's the good thing about a good leader. She's intentionally seeking out opportunities for her team members to go there and go and network, listen to people, expand their minds. And we're going to be talking about different things like funding, scaling your startup. A lot of people don't have that information. Some people struggle. Today I looked at a list of people or women who had been funded in the VC space over, I'm not even sure if it's over 2 years or over the last year. We're only 34 in the whole Nigeria. How is that possible? I'm not even sure if it was a Nigerian list or an Africa-wide list. Oh my gosh, Uche is on this call. I'm sure somebody has got to tell her. Tell her that I've been calling her name. But Uche is such a fantastic boss. Like I'm in love with Uche and the way she, leads and builds her team. So so your employer is fine, except they categorically tell you that they don't want you to go for a particular event. That's a different conversation. But I don't think any employer will be upset with you going to network with other people. Another myth that people think is that people feel like extroverts are the best at networking. I just gave you an example of when I went to an event and I literally froze. Like the other girls that were there, they were just networking up and down. Talking, they were so confident. I was so shy. I was almost, and guess what? This my shyness in small groups came from, especially when they are guys, came from my secondary school. So because my secondary school was only girls, I'm used to talking to only girls. So apart from and if you guys follow me on social media, you'd see that I'm always with like my girlfriends, and because we've been friends since secondary school or university, we've all been very close. We carry each other up and down. So it's just so easy for me to, be around them. That's my comfort zone. But immediately you just add like 20 guys in that room and maybe we're only 3. Hey, I will just become like a hermit. Like I'll be so shy. So I intentionally have to prop myself up that this for human being, it doesn't matter. And guess what? Another thing with networking is even if guys come and talk to you, it does not mean that they want to toast you. Please, women, I beg. It's not everybody that wants to toast you. And guess what? Even when they toast you, you can turn that relationship to a fantastic business relationship. Before, any guy that walks up to me, hey, especially when I was in uni, oh my God, me that was just coming out from secondary school, only girls school. As they're coming like this, I'm running. As they're coming like this, I'm running to the point that they even punked me. Like they were recording me. Some guys were walking up to me. I was like, no, I'm running to class. I'm going. They were like, I said, calm down. You've been punked. Like I was literally running. So guess what? Not everybody is trying to toast you or trying to do something, romantic or sexual with you or anything like that. Please, you can, even if that's their intention, because sometimes guys, that's what's in their head. You can turn that relationship around into a very good, fantastic, professional business relationship. They can give you contracts. Not every woman you see at the top slept her way to the top, right? Please, let's just get that mindset out of our minds. You can have fantastic guy friends and they can be your friends and nothing can happen between you guys. So please, when guys come and talk to you, look for the gem. Look for how you can turn that relationship around into, a value for value in terms of like business wise or professional wise or even hangout wise. Just hang out because people are smart. the people that are giving these contracts, they're either men or women. So you cannot just seclude, especially for women, you cannot just seclude yourself and say, I'm not going to talk to men because they're going to toast me, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that. So that's another myth. Not every time, it's not all extroverts that are the best at networking. Like I said, the introverts over time have proven to be better listeners. So once you're a listener, it's easier for you to really, really, listen and connect with people on that one-on-one level, right? So that's another myth that I wanted to just break. I just needed to break that table. Another thing is, some people feel like networking events are for work, not fun. Girl, networking, you can meet anybody anywhere. And the best types are the ones that are, you just go somewhere to chill and you connect to people and they will not forget you. Like, it was so, I remember I was in a pool and I was just talking, I think I've even said this story. And today, those people are my paddies. Like, we meet, we talk. I spoke to one of their wives today, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, she's not more in Nigeria," because I was trying to invite her, for the gala and stuff like that. So there are just so many, relationships that you build that come from, that you met in a fun setting. It doesn't have to be so conference is happening, you wear your suit and tie and you go. Sometimes it's just going down the road. Sometimes it's going to a chill spot to just go and hang out with friends. Sometimes it's going for games nights. In fact, I feel like games nights are the best times to meet people, like, because games nights are always a small group, always a fun group. That's when you also see people's true colors and you connect with them. Some people are not more than their work. Some people are not more than their money. It's only money that they can offer. Sometimes only work that you can offer. But you want to connect with people that have depth. You want to connect with people that, you have like mutual likes and stuff with. So I feel like games nights are the perfect place. Games nights, karaoke nights. Sometimes at the beginning of karaoke, everybody is still forming bad guy, like, I have crooked voice, so let nobody come and be laughing at me. By the end of the night, they've carried microphone, they don't even want to release the microphone again. And that's what always happens. And it just takes you back to childhood when you didn't care, and there's no chip on your shoulder. I'm the kini in this company. Nobody can catch me on our ways. Nobody can catch me, twerking. Nobody can catch me, just chilled. Everybody's just chilled. That's the best time to meet people. So that's the fourth myth I wanted to say. Yeah, so please, I've broken that table. Just go out and network. Don't put yourself under any pressure. You are it. Once you've built yourself, you understand the value you bring to the table. I beg, go out and network with your full chest. Trust me, there are 1,000,001 people that would love to meet you, that want to connect with you, and want to keep and build that relationship with you.
Thanks so much. So, in the absence of questions, before you give, could you tell people how they can join the economy community? That's number one. Number two, how they can buy their gala tickets. And number three, how they can come to a conference. And then after that, your parting words.
Okay, fantastic. So joining Herconomy is easy. Once you download our app, you're part of the ecosystem, you're part of our community. You continue to get like newsletters from the team. You continue to get newsletters personally from me. I send newsletters every Sunday. We send out information on what is going on, how you can benefit, how you can progress. So we send out opportunities, and that's why communities are very, very important. Like I said, like there are so many opportunities that would come and will only go to communities, or people in communities are the first people that will hear about those sort of opportunities. So please join, those communities. Download our app. It's available on iOS, Android, and on web. So let's say your phone is full, please, you don't have an excuse. We also have web. It's dashboard.herconomy.com, and you can join the community and then start saving. So saving is beautiful, and saving has literally changed my life. It has saved me. Saving has saved me. There are times when I thought that, things will happen boom, boom, boom like that, and in reality, it didn't happen like that. But because I learned very late, I learned like 2 years ago to start saving every day. It has really, really helped me, helped me pretty much over the last couple of years. So please save with Herconomy. It's always better. It's always easier when you automate your savings every day, even if it's 1,000 naira, 10,000 naira. Automate your savings. It's very, very easy. You start saving every day, and guess what? You start getting your interest. And guess what the biggest thing for me about saving was that I did not even realize how much money was passing through my hands. I thought it was so impossible for me to save 10,000 naira a day. I was like, where will I get that money? Because guess what? At that point in time, my salary was not even up to that 300,000 naira when it came to salary. But because I knew that I wanted to save a particular amount every month, I started looking for different things that I could do over time that would make me extra money. So yes, so start saving. Even if you don't have your card, or let's say your card doesn't work or cannot be added on the app, you can send money into your float account on Herconomy. So we give everybody account numbers. By the click of a button, you can literally just generate that account number. You can send money directly into your float, and you get 8% interest every year per annum. But you collect that interest every month, so it's prorated every month. It's absolutely fantastic. You automate it, and on top of that, you also get discounts across different stores, from Radisson Blue to Adidas to Nuban Beauty for makeup. You know, we have so many brands, and guess what? We're adding more brands as we grow. So you're not only saving and earning high interest, you're also saving as you spend. I know somebody on the app who today pays her nanny's salary from the interest that she makes on Herconomy. So you can imagine if she did not, because guess what, she will have had that money in her own, let's say her other accounts, let's say the salary was 50K. She will have 50K at the end of the month to pay. But imagine if she puts that bulk money in Herconomy and the interest. Because guess what? Today you're paying nanny salary from your interest. Before you know it, you're paying for your holidays. And that's how billionaires are made. They are not living on their salary. They are living on the interest income of what they've built over years. So, but it's beautiful when you start small. I started personally from 1,000 naira a day, and it just became addictive. I was so addicted to it. Like, I'm thinking, any bulk money I get, like, Piam, I've sent it to Herconomy. Any bulk money I get, Piam, I've sent it. And before I knew it, I don't want my money to come lower than a certain point. As it's getting there, I'll go go and look for what work I can quickly do so that I can make more money. And the things that you can do are easy. For me, it was writing. I like to write. So I started writing CVs and profiles for people. Like I mentioned before, that's how I met Dolapo. So please, anyway, download our Herconomy app. Our conference and gala is coming up at the end of this month, on the 30th and 31st of this month. It's going to be a blast. Like, the conference is already looking mad. Like, our planners went there today to go and, you know what, I'm not going to say where we're doing it, but where we're doing it is in fact, I couldn't believe when it happened, because for me, and that's another testimony of networking. It was just God. Where we're having it is in one of the, I wouldn't say most sacred places, but it's just a beautiful experience to be able to even connect with that organization, and they've given us that space to use for free. So I'm just so glad and so honored to be able to partner with them for our conference. But because of the space, we cannot open the gates for everybody to join, but people will be able to join online and just connect and get the gems of the conference, all the learnings and everything. But guess what? The next day is going to be a banger. That's our gala. Check our other pictures, like the pictures from last year. The link is in my bio. It's also probably in Herconomy's bio. It's a paid event. Come, you have maximum fun. You will meet fantastic, fun people. It's going to be a blast. Where we're currently trying to speak to an artist to come and perform. You know, we have a fantastic DJ. DJ Poppe is DJing. Red Bull has taken over the after party. It's going to be a blast. We will dance till our leg bends. And guess what? It's a nice way we're going to be celebrating women. We're going to be celebrating ourselves. We're going to be giving out awards to fantastic people who have done fantastic work over the year. You know, it's just going to be a night of fun, just celebrating yourself, celebrating your femininity. Like, it's just so beautiful. Like, last year, I had so much fun. I didn't want the night to end. I'm so happy that this year we're actually doing it on a Friday, because we have to enjoy ourselves. Last time, I think it was on a Thursday. So everybody was like, we have to go to work. We have to do this tomorrow. But this time, we died there. We are going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to enjoy ourselves to the fullest. So please get your tickets. The tickets are 50,000 naira. And guess what? You can bring a +1. So if you have a friend that wants to go and you don't have up to 50K, join together, buy the tickets, and you come with your friend. And trust me, if you know me, you know that I'm the minister of enjoyment. I like to enjoy myself. So come, you have fun, you meet fantastic people who want to network, because anybody who's coming that day has a forward thinking mind.